Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pop-up book card which opens like this, and it's like a book that pops up, stands up really nicely. I did make a video to show how to make this card several years ago, and I thought it was about time to update it. The last one that I did was a 6x6, which meant you had to have 12x12 paper, but this one means you can do it with A4 cardstock. I will give the inches measurements and metric for A4. I will also work out the inches measurement for letter size cardstock users. All of them will be in the box below. This is a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, so that you can get that from A4. I have tried making it as a C6 size card or A2 size, and it does work, but I found it a little bit more of a challenge when I came to decorate these because they were such a small area to decorate. But again, I will put the measurements in the box below for this one for A4 cardstock users, inches and metric, and also for letter size cardstock users. Okay, so there will be 3 lots of measurements in the box below, but obviously if you're doing the smaller size, then these won't fit in. Okay, so you'll need to find something else. So one of the things two things I wanted to point out. One is that one, I allowed it to come over the edge. Unfortunately, I allowed it to come over too far over the edge, so it does stick out a little bit there. It wouldn't affect our envelopes, but I would have preferred it not poking out there. And also, when you first make these cards, it takes a little while before the card will actually close with these bits coming outwards. Until they get used to it, I'm not going to push it back, but quite often they go right back in and don't pop up. Okay, now that mine has learnt to do it, okay, I don't want to remind it that it can go the other way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is exactly the same design. I'm going to use the grey granite designs from Sunprint's designer series paper, and these are from Sunprint's, but there are 2 colours that you can choose from. This one I'm going to do lighter, and I want to try and make it more feminine, because I think this would be great for as a masculine card. I don't see why men shouldn't have leaves and bumblebees and butterflies and things. So I'm going to start off by telling you the card pieces that you're going to be needing. And I have used thick Whisper White cardstock. I just felt that as I'm only using 1 layer on the inside, that I wanted a little bit of sturdiness to it, shall we say. But the choice is yours. I don't think it's really necessary. Anyway, this piece of cardstock measures 5 3/4 inches by 11.5 inches, scored and folded at 5 3/4 inches. And then I'm going to use grey granite designs from this designer series paper. That is the other one of that, which isn't that one. No. So this is a design I'm using. This measures 5.5 inches by 11.25 inches, scored and folded at 5 5/8 inches. So they're both folded in half. For the front, you need a piece of grey granite cardstock, which measures 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. So that's going to be layering on there. And then a piece of Sunprint's designer series paper. I'm using another grey granite design. And this measures 5 3/8 by 5 3/8 inches. Now the design on the back there is the design that I've used on that one. I've added these little white decorations on here. Okay. For the inside of the book, the 2 pages that are open, shall we say, these measure, did I write this down? Yes, I did. 3 1/8 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Okay, so you need 2 of those. And then you need 2 pieces for the book ends, which measure 1/2 inch by 3 3/4 inches. You will also need scraps. I've just picked up pieces that I had. You need the basic white for the sentiment and the branches if you want to do that little bit in the centre. And for the grey granite, you need this for the wreath that I've used on the front, and also for the sentiment layer. Okay, so first of all we are going to do this piece here, which needs to be cut and needs score lines. Now please remember, when you're doing score lines, this is paper, albeit a really good quality paper, so don't press too hard because it will tear if you're too hard on it. Right, now let me use a bit of that to keep an eye on exactly where I am. So first of all, you put your designer series paper in landscape. You line this side up at 3/4 of an inch, and then you need to cut from 1 5/8 inches, which is there, down to 9 5/8 inches. 9 5/8. Take your design series paper out, turn it 180 degrees and do that again. So line it up at 3/4 of an inch and cut it from 1 5/8 inches down to 9 5/8 inches. Now that is the only cutting you need to do. Now you've already done one score line because you folded this in half. So next you need to put your paper in, your design series paper in, and line it up at 1 5/8 inches, which you will need to do on this side because that only goes to 1 1/2 inches. And this is going to play me up because that's touching the tripod leg. So what do we want? 1 5/8 inches. Oh, that's good. And from here, oops, I've knocked my marker off. Hold on. It's playing games, running away from me. Let's put it above it. No, that's no good because I'll go above that. Okay, right, let's get back to this. Right, it's lining up at 1 5/8 inches, and you need to score from 3/4 of an inch to 4 3/4 inches. Now that is from one cut line down to the next cut line. Okay, you're not going to cut that piece up there nor that piece there, and make sure you don't use your scoring tool, your cutting blade at this one. Okay, so that's 3/4 of an inch down to 4 3/4. 3/4 to 4 3/4. Move your paper along to 2 1/4 inches and do the same. So that's scoring from 2 3/4. No, sorry, scoring from 3/4 of an inch down to 4 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so that one again is in between the cut lines. Now take your design series paper out, turn it 180 degrees and repeat. So that's line it up at 1 5/8 inches and score from 3/4 of an inch down to 4 3/4 inches. then move this along to 2 1/4 inches and score from 3/4 of an inch down to 4 3/4 inches. And then the last bit of scoring that we need to do is, if you line this up at 3 1/2 inches, now you need to score just on this little bit up here. You don't need to score down on this one. So I am going to score from 3/4 of an inch upwards. Okay, or down to 3/4 of an inch, whichever way you want to look at this. And then you need to bring your scoring tool down and then score from 3/4 of an inch down to the end. Okay, take your design series paper out, turn 180 degrees and do that again. So we lined up at 3 1/2 inches and we scored from the top to 3/4 of an inch. I'm on a bit of a wing and a prayer here because I can't see exactly where I'm doing, because I don't want to get my head over the camera, under the camera. So again, for the last one, it's from 4 3/4 of an inch down to 5 1/2. And that's all we need to do. Yep. So if we take this out, we can pop our scoreboard away. So now what we need to do is, this one I've already folded as a valley fold, so this one needs to come out as a mountain. The next one is a valley, and that one is a valley, and do the same to this one on the end. You want a mountain, you want a valley, and you want a valley. Okay, now we've got these two. This one is going to be a valley, but you only want to fold this bit. I'm only doing that to get the crease going. So then that comes up, and then the next one goes down, and then the same this end. You need that to be a valley fold, and the next one to be a mountain fold. Okay, something tells me I've done that back to front. Yes, it should be a valley fold first and then a mountain fold. Okay, so that is your book made. So just to make sure that this is creased nicely, fold this in half. So what happens is these two pieces come down here, and this piece here comes forward, and this piece comes forward as well. So you finish up with a piece that looks like this. Okay, so this piece here is like the letter C, alright, or letter U, depends which way you're looking at it. Now I'm just going to very gently use my bone folder to smooth this down. Just give it a little bit of pressure there. And a gentle bit from this side as well. Okay, so you should find that that lines up beautifully. Okay. So that's the main part of your card done. So what we need to do now is to adhere this inside. and this has been cut so that you'll get a white edge around, not quite as big as that, but if I flatten mine right down, you can see the size of the white you should be getting. Oh, it shows up quite nicely, doesn't it? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back up again. Okay, so it's going to be going like that. So for the first piece, I'm going to be adding glue. I want to do this one first, so I'm going to add glue here, and then I'm going to take it over to line it up. Okay. So I'm going to be using Tombow, and I think for this particular job I would recommend that you use Tombow. But then I don't really use tape, what do you call it, seal. But if your favourite is a seal, is using the seal, then by all means go for it if you're confident it's strong enough to hold. Oops, that went to the edge. Okay, so I'm only putting glue on the letter C. Okay. So let me bring this down a bit. Turn this one up. And it should fit on like that. And I'm just going to double check very quickly before Tombow does its work. And just pull that down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so both ends look the same. So that's good. Now I'll fold it back up again. And we're going to put Tombow on this letter C again. This is really beautiful paper. I particularly like the lighter colour, but I couldn't really do too much with the dark blue because I'm still waiting for my Starry Sky cardstock to arrive. But it's gone well with Night of Navy, which was one of the other colours that it's recommended to go with. Right, okay, now I'm going to bring this up and stretch it out so it fits on there. Now you should find that that will flatten right down. Right, tweezers, need a little bit of help here please. That's better. Okay. Got some glue on my fingers. Okay, so whichever way you want your card to go, and that is it. Now you should fit in very nicely like that, but if you're not very happy with it, just give it a smooth over. I'm just going to give it another little gentle going over to make sure these are very nicely done. Okay, so I'm really very happy with that. If you think that these are sticking out quite a long way, the reason is if they aren't long enough, when you open your card up, see how that is nearly disappearing there? So can you see that? It is still staying on the outside of here, whereas if that was shorter, for example, if you'd done it like that, that would just ping out all the time. There we go. All right. So, I think I'll do my stamping first. As I say, I'm going to copy what I've done before. So that's those two designs. Now what I've done on these two is, once I'd stamped them with Night of Navy, I actually went round the edges using my lightest Pool Party Stampin' Blend. Now it does bleed very slightly, but I'm not sure you can actually see it. It gives it almost blurred edges, if you like. It's more noticeable in this one than it is on that one. But I just think adding that extra pale blue bit adds quite a lot to the card. So I'm going to be doing that again. And I often say to you that our stamp positioner, our Stamparatus, knocks all other stamp positioners right out of the water. So today I'm going to give you 3 of the reasons why it's better. So first of all, I've lined this up so that that's one of my pieces. And the first stamp I'm going to do is this one. So I'm going to line that up. I need a stamp set to rest under there. Right, one of the things about the Stamparatus is our plates are removable, and because they're removable you can put a stamp on that side and you can put a stamp on that side, and you get 2 plates with it, so you've got 4 sides you can use without moving any of your stamps off. So that's one of the benefits. Another benefit is you can put in here any size piece of paper or cardstock, because it is open on 2 sides. So say for example you were using a sheet of A4. Well, you can't actually see that's A4, can you? Well, there you can. Okay, so it just fits in because, as I say, these 2 sides are open. And one of the techniques you can use is, if you've got a stamp that could be a sentiment like happy birthday or something, what you can do is you can line it up on your plate so that it comes and stamps down here, and then you can remove your plate, move it down, its stamp is still in the same place but you've moved further down your piece of cardstock, and you can keep on going for that whole piece of cardstock, stamping that same greeting. Now each time, if you cleaned your stamp, you could make it rainbow colours, or you could do one full strength first generation stamping and the second one you could stamp off, so you've got light dark, light dark, light dark. So many things you can do with this. It is amazing. The value of it is, you know, it's one of the things that I really do recommend that people get. Right, so the first one, I hope this is moist enough. I didn't check it. Grey granite. So let's have a look. This isn't in place. That one is. That one is now. Oh, I'm going to turn that over, it touched. I've drawn a pencil line down there, so I know where it's meant to be going. Let's try that again. Oh, that looks nice. I'm going to do that a bit darker. This is my homemade Chucky. Gina Kay started it. A friend of hers sent her something that she could go all around her stamp positioner to put even pressure on it, and they've become very popular now. I just bought a blackboard rubber and I use that. Right, now the second stamp I'm going to do, I'm going to use the next piece of cardstock, going to line that up. Now it doesn't matter what I do first, whether I do the sentiment or the fern. So as this one was the nearest one to me, I am going to use this. Before I go on, let me show you the stamp set that I'm using. It's Nature's Prints, and it was that one for the stamp that I've just used. Okay, and I'm using Best Wishes and Happy Thoughts, and the next stamp I'll use is the fern. Okay, so let's do the greeting first. Oh, that was close. Just about missed the magnet. Let's make that a bit darker. I wasn't sure whether grey granite was going to be quite dark enough for this. I think so. One more. There we go, that's lovely, I like that. So move that one out of the way. When you buy the Stamparatus, you'll find you get 2 plates. But I've bought myself a few plates. Stampin' Up reduced the price of them because they've stopped actually selling them now, which I think is a huge shame. But I do have some spare ones. If anybody lives in the UK or Europe, I can sell them to you. Okay, we just do one more. There we go. And the other bit of stamping, I didn't use my Stamparatus. Let's just move that out of the way. I've got this one on just a block, and this is Happy Birthday, which is from Peaceful Moments. As you can see, I have rather cut mine into many pieces. Well, not many pieces, but trimmed mine quite a lot because I found that I was keep getting the extra ink, like the halo type thing. So this is a bit big for what I need, but never mind. And I hope this one comes out dark enough. Yes, that's good. So I need to die cut that, and for that I'm going to be using the number 2 layering circle framelit. I always count my dies, smaller the die, smaller the number. So I start with the smallest one is number 1. This is the set of dies that goes with the Nature's Prints stamp set. And ahead of time I have already die cut the wreath. I've done it in 2 colours because I'm not sure which colour I want to use. Okay, so I've die cut one in basic white and one in grey granite. I've also done 4 of these. Now, there we go, that's that one. Okay, they're in basic white. And again, this one I'm not sure, so I've done one in white and one in basic grey. Okay. I'll pop that away. So let me clear a space here And I'll bring my big shot up. I'll move that out of the way, I don't want that. I don't want to get anything messed up with ink. Now I really do believe that this is the last time that you're going to see my big shot. The new embossing magnetic plates for our cut and emboss machine are now available, and I've placed my order a couple of days ago, so it should arrive at the beginning of this week. So really excited about that. Well, I'm trying not to get too excited just in case, but I am really looking forward to receiving it. Right, okay, so that's as more or less in the centre as I can get it without cutting off any of the birthday part. Let's put that there. Okay, so that's happy birthday. Now, if I used the white, and I wanted to use the white, I would want a grey one underneath that to separate them. So let me just cut one more circle, the next size circle. I don't think I really want to use a, oh it's, no, let's just go for the next size circle. I was going to suggest a scalloped circle, but no, so this needs to be grey, just in case I need it. If I don't need it, then it'll be saved for a future project. There we go. So I'm ready for all options. Pop that on there. Pop that on there. Right. So what do we need first? This one here. I am going to go around the edges again with my light pull party. Okay, and all I do is I just paint outside the line. I keep the pen very light. Tomorrow, hubby and we have a table at a tabletop craft sale, and it's for people who've got crafting products that they want to sell, and I have absolutely masses and masses of retired Stampin' Up stuff to sell. What I'd be taking with me tomorrow is an absolute fraction. In fact, when you're hearing this, the show will be finished, but all the stamp sets I'm taking with me will be unused stamp sets, and I'm also taking all sorts of bits like designer series paper, ribbons, embellishments, some punches mainly. In fact, I think all the punches are probably border punches. I've got some card kits. I should have thought about telling you about it last week, shouldn't I? So if there's anybody in the Burgess Hill area, they could say, oh, I'll go along to that. Mind you, I'm not that well organised enough. This time last week, I didn't think I'd ever be ready to do this show. But it's amazing what I can do when I put my mind to it. There we go. It gives just like a shadow effect, if you like. It's a look that I like. This one's a lot quicker. Last week, what is it today? Oh, it's Friday today. Today I should really be, loads of us should be coming back from a Caribbean cruise that we earned as the incentive trip for this year. Unfortunately, after really pulling out all the stops and working my socks off at the very end of the previous year to earn this trip, Stampin' Up cancelled it. I was somewhat gutted, to say the least, but you know, they make these decisions and they make what they consider to be the best decision at the time, which, you know, without a crystal ball, I totally accept that. But they were still very generous to us. They did give us, they sent us like the equivalent of our pillow gifts and what have you, and they arranged some events this week, so they are very, very good. It's certainly a lovely company to be part of. Right, now first of all I'm going to adhere these two inside. So again, I'm using Tombow. I don't use dimensionals when I'm doing things inside cards. Let's just move this. I don't want to make my work surface nor the inside of my card sticky. There we go. It's not terribly easy to see where this needs to go. You can see quite where the score lines are. I think that's okay. Oops. There we go. Just make sure they're the same height and the gap between them is the same. So yep, that looks good. And now the other two pieces are for these here. I did think about using, oh, what's that? I did think about using my scoreboard to just score some lines down here as if it were pages. I thought on such a narrow piece, I'm not sure you'd get more than about 3-4 lines. In fact, it's half an inch, so the score lines would be 1/8 of an inch. Which means you could get somewhere between 2 and 4. If it's 4, you've got half of them on the edges, with 2 complete ones in the centre. Position it right and you could get 3, which would look nice. Just an idea. There we go. Okay, this is where I put my extra bit of decoration here. I thought it looked a bit, not plain, but possibly unfinished. You notice that is trying to sink backwards rather than staying up the front, but it will eventually stay there. Okay, so let me do these 4, because I know that I'm going to be using these. Let me just use my little fine tip glue pen. No, not glue pen, fine tip bottle, I suppose. This is Tombow inside here. Oh, come on, don't let me down. Just use 2 hands. I think, oh, well, there you come. This is very easy to clean off. This is a silicone craft mat, and it helps keep my workspace nice and clean. If you find that you put too much glue on here, just blot it off on some scrap paper. The top there looks as if it might be. Okay, so I'm just dabbing those 2 bits off, otherwise I'm happy. It's so nice, quick and easy like this. And then when I do the other end, I just make sure that they're level with each other. There are 2 dies for this. Would have been nice to have had them facing different directions. There's another little die in there which does just like short 2 or 3 leaves, I think, and there's 3 of those dies. 2 of them go one way and the other one goes a different way, which is lovely. I like it when things like that happen. Right, making sure this comes about the same height as the one that end. And then the last one. Let me just show you what I mean. Okay, it's got those little 3 there. Those 2 go that way and that one comes this way. Okay, these are the 2 that I've just used. There we go. That's one of the reasons why I have a towel on my chair, so that when I do things like that, I can just wipe it. The only trouble is, sometimes I forget myself when I'm at the dinner table. No, I do manage to stop myself in time. But the hand definitely does go down. Right, okay, so that's my right side, and I don't think there's a right or wrong way to this. This one would be perfectly okay with a glue runner like seal. pull you up a little bit. That's better. I think that looks alright. So I'm going to pop this onto the front of my card. By the way, if anybody wants to order the new embossing mat, the product code is 161128, and our product numbers are the same worldwide, so there we go. So now for my front, I wasn't sure whether my white would look better on there or whether the grey would look better on there. And I still don't know. Possibly the white. I wonder if doing a shadow effect would work. Or does that just make it look more complicated? I'll just hold that up a bit. What do you think? Worth the effort? I think so. Let's have a go. So that's white on top of the grey. So we need you first. Mind you, this might be a bit of an effort to do because the glue that I'm putting on now, by the time I get around the other side, it could be drying. It may not leave me enough wiggle room. Let's see. In fact, having thought about that, I think I'm going to not do the layer. I could finish up messing them both up, I think. I think it's a great technique, but it works better with smaller images where you're not trying to do so much. Okay, so I'm going to use just this, and this time I'm putting the point, this bit, down at the bottom. On the other card I put it at the top. Okay, so that's... It looks better to me when I look at the screen. So I hope that's showing up okay. Now with this, I suppose I ought to use a white there. And put that in that. If I use just the grey, just the white rather, it looks more like a wedding, doesn't it? Because this can be popped up. I'm going to use a grey. Do leave in the comments box below whether you think it's better with just the white or with the grey bit as well. So there's that. Did I pop that up separately? Where's my card gone? No, I put this down. I better not go right on the outside because it's going to come over. Let's turn it round the right way. Make sure I get that straight. It looks okay. Nowhere near centred. That looks better. Yeah, I'm not agonising about that anymore. Right, I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. Over here. Just have one little one in the middle. Now the bit that I want to do to make it more feminine is to add some of our flowery gems now. Now whether it's going to be on the wreath or not, I don't know until I've checked it out. There we go. So yes, I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. But because there's no other colours in there, I'm not sure how these are going to work. Okay, so I've got these flowers. And I've got these flowers. Let's try one by one, shall we? Have a look, see what we think. Orange? No. Yellow? Nope. Oh, that was loose. Lilac? Nope. Blue? Or green? Don't know. What about these ones? About gold? Oh, they've got silver up here. Oh, there we go. Look, that's nice. Oh, I like that. What do you think about that? That looks nice, doesn't it? Do I want another one down here? Or stay? Or do I want to put any around? I think. And to the bottom. There we go. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that very much. So there we go. That's today's project. I hope you like it and I hope you give it a try. And that's that one. That's that one. I didn't put anything inside of that one. I did put some butterflies, but because I put silver there, I need silver butterflies in there. But never mind, there we go. And of course, there's our smaller one as well. So whichever you like. I'm very pleased with this project. I think I probably prefer the wreath with that bit down there rather than the pointy bit up there. Anyway, many thanks for joining me today. All the measurements in inches and metric for A4 cardstock users, as well as the inches for letter size cardstock users, will be in the box below. That's for the square card or the regular C6 A2 card. I'll also put a list of all the products that I've used for this card in the box below. I'll explain both of these cards on my blog same day that this video goes live, which will be the 22nd of May 2022. If you would like to place an order with me, first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate your business. Secondly, if you could add the hostess code onto your order, then at the end of the month when I send out Happy Mail to all my online customers, I can send you some free product. The only thing about the hostess code is if your order is a big order and it goes over £150, don't use that code, because your order will earn you Stampin' rewards that you can buy your own free product with. Okay. If you've enjoyed my video and would like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button down there in the bottom right hand corner, or my picture wherever it appears on the last screen, and then click the bell to make sure you get notified each time I do upload a video. Many thanks for joining me today. I look forward to being with you again next time. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and of course, happy crafting. Cheerio!